Hello, and welcome to another of today's topics, looking at the Versa driving system. Today, we're particularly looking at following distances. Uh, a very important topic, really, and much debated amongst even qualified drivers. The following distance given in the highway code is a minimum 2-second rule. Let's look at this, how this applies. What that means is if you're following a vehicle, you should be at least 2 seconds behind it. A minimum 2 seconds. Okay. Now, better is, more is better, but 2 seconds is an absolute minimum. And when you're on the road, 2 seconds will seem like a long way from the vehicle behind. And you will also notice that many drivers do not keep to this minimum 2 second. As you become an experienced driver, you seem to sort of minimize the gap. But remembering this, above all, is probably the biggest reason why people crash. Simply crashing into the vehicle in front when, for whatever reason, it stops or slows down. At 30 miles an hour, you are traveling at 45 feet a second. It's a very easy figure to work out. Basically, multiply your speed by 1.5. Therefore, 40 miles an hour means you're driving at 60 feet a second. And at 50 miles an hour, you're traveling at 75 feet a second. Now, 45 feet a second means that in every second at 30 miles an hour, you will travel 45 feet. In meters, that is, divided by 3 is about 15 meters that you will travel in each and every second. Long way, isn't it? 50, you're traveling at 75 feet. Incidentally, at 70 miles an hour, it's 105 feet per second. That's about 35 meters each and every second. So 2 seconds give you theoretically around about 90 feet at 30 miles an hour, which to stop. Cars don't stop instantaneously. Of course, the first thing with stopping is something called reaction time. And according to the highway code, our reaction time is 0.7 of a second. That's 0.0 of a second, 0.7 of a second. Really? In America, I believe the highway code, their highway code version gives it about 1.2, in France around 1.6, etc. In Germany around about 1.6, 1.7. But apparently the United Kingdom, the highway code, works it at 0.7. And whereas these figures were done in about 1930, they used members of the armed forces, they were young, they were fit, they needed a healthy nutritional breakfast. They'd not been drinking the day before or taking any drugs or anything. They were perfectly healthy people. They were driving in a car when somebody was about to say to them, just like the driving test, in a moment, I would like to stop the vehicle in emergency. And they took their reactions. Is this real? Is this how we drive on the road? Do we think like this? Roger Federer, the tennis player, many of you would have heard of him. His reaction time is recorded as 0.62. I've used him because he's fairly close to 0.7 of a second. But got to imagine Roger on the tennis court. He's standing there waiting for the service, waiting for that serve to come at him. What do you imagine he's thinking about? Do you think he's thinking how nice the music is on the radio? The conversation he's having with his passengers next to him or people next to him? Is he looking up into the crowd, looking at people, thinking, where he'd like to be? Is he thinking about his holidays or whatever? No, Roger will be thinking about one thing only. He'll be poised, ready for the ball to come towards him. He's extremely fit. He'll be very healthy. He'll have eaten a good breakfast, not too much, just the right amount. He won't have been drinking alcohol the night before his game. He's primed, and he's at 0.62. The reality is us having a 0.7 of a second reaction time is extremely slim. But let's go with the DVSA. Let's go with the highway code rule. So how do you apply the 2-second rule minimum? You need to use something like a fixed marker point. This could be a street light, hedge, fence panel, curb, drain, anything at all. But when a vehicle in front of you passes this, at the point that they pass it, start counting the 2-second rule. And in order to make sure we're 2 seconds behind. Now, quite a favourite of mine and learners was something called only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. It's quite apt, really. So when they pass it, you start saying to yourself, only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. You need to make sure that you do not reach the object before you finish saying that. If it goes something like this, only a fool, well, here we go. You are clearly too close to the vehicle behind. So only a fool breaks the 2-second rule. There you go. That's giving you 2 seconds between you and the vehicle in front. Remembering that's not your overall stopping distance. That is giving you some thinking time and some braking time. We'll assume that both of you are braking together, and so therefore you should be quite safe. Now I'm saying 2 seconds minimum, but what about if somebody gets close behind you? I've debated this a long time, many times with qualified drivers. It's one of the things that tend to scare most people, etc. Most of the time when I'm out in the car with a qualified driver, they often say to me, the vehicle behind me is too close. So many times I've wanted to be able to freeze time, step out the vehicle and show them that the distance that they are between them and the vehicle in front and the vehicle behind them that they're complaining about, they're actually closer to the vehicle in front because things appear so much closer in your rearview mirror. So a question I'm often asked, what do you do if there is a vehicle too close behind you? Now this normally comes up with lots of answers if I raise it in a group of people, but the correct answer is found in the highway code. The highway code says, if the vehicle behind you is too close, that you increase the distance between you and the car in front. What you're effectively doing is giving you more braking distance, more thinking distance. It's giving you a bigger safety margin between you and the vehicle in front. It's giving you far more time to react. You're aware of what's behind you, so immediately you're a little bit more like Roger Federer. You're actually thinking, hey, he is too close or she is too close. And you are in control. And the vehicle behind would possibly need to brake. They'll certainly be covering their brake pedal. Now, they may be doing it thinking all sorts of horrible things about you, but it doesn't matter. You are effectively in control. So, vehicle behind you too close, just basically ease off your gas. You don't need a brake, just ease off your gas a little bit. The vehicle behind will slow. On very rare occasions, the vehicle behind might overtake you and fill the gap. Hey, heck, it doesn't matter. You're looking after you and the people in your vehicle. Now, I've been talking about good dry roads here. We're talking about good weather when the roads are dry. What about in the wet? What are we going to do about our following distances then? We need to double them, at least double them. At least the 4-second rule. You could try saying only a fool breaks the 2-second rule twice. You need to say it twice. Or try the old 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, which is the sort of police method. But it needs to at least double the distance. And in ice, what do you suppose? In ice, we talk about at least 10 seconds. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3, etc. Ice is dangerous stuff and it will catch you out. As I say, even the experts get it wrong sometimes. But that was following distances, or a brief introduction to it. As per usual, your driving instructor will go over these in more details, giving you practical examples when you're out on the road, looking at lots of different things. Take this forward into your driving. Always maintain at least the 2-second rule, always. It is the one thing above all that will keep you safe. If you find this useful, then go to versodriving.co.uk and find many other videos along this series that can help you. Thank you very much, and bye for now.